Alright guys, I know it's hard to believe, but this shirt is the real shirt that I had when I was 17 years old, before I actually grew taller, and it used to be to my waist. It used to be a completely normal shirt. This is how it looks now, because I grew so much from my own advice in my videos. Obviously, I'm just messing around, man. This is my girl shirt, but it's kalosique. Go to kalosique.com to support all my stuff. I got clothing, but yeah, this video is gonna be sick. From the ages of 17 to 18, I grew from roughly 5'9" to 6'4" within only 1 year. Now, I do not actually have tall genetics. Both my parents are roughly 5'8", 5'9", and I exceeded my height growth potential. Now, your height growth potential, on average, typically it's only 60 to 80% genetic and 20 to 40% environmental, meaning I did everything to completely optimize my height growth. And then even in my 20s, I grew another 2 inches. Right now, I measure in at 6'6". It is 6'6". So today is everything you're doing wrong that is stunting your growth to where you cannot grow any taller. Let's get it, bro. There's a lot of teenagers out there that are taking this one prescription drug that is actually completely stunting their growth. So this is new scientific research, and it says that anybody taking antidepressants specifically, it's actually going to immediately stunt your growth. Now, don't make me go into a rant on how much I'm against antidepressants, especially for men. It actually runs in my family. Depression runs in the family, but the thing is, man, typically it's because you're not doing things to optimize your mental health. This is why you're on the antidepressant. So if you're struggling with your mental health, I would always advocate do everything else to improve it. Just hop off the antidepressants. In addition to pretty much any pharmaceutical drugs, anything that the doctor is giving you that's not completely natural is most likely going to stunt your growth. There's a product that you are probably touching on a daily basis that is completely blocking your endocrine system. Now, this is directly associated with all the male hormones, and this is actually receipts. Now, receipts are actually completely lined in BPA, which is essentially a synthetic estrogen. Not to mention, BPA is also in bottled plastic waters. It's lined with most canned foods. BPA is going to be one of the worst things you can possibly do if you want to optimize your height growth. So literally, you got to kind of go extreme with this, man. Do not touch receipts. Do not eat from the cans. If you want to drink from plastic, make sure that it was not sitting in the heat to where the BPA could sit inside of it. But you have to avoid BPA like the freaking plague if you want to optimize your hormones and do everything that you can to grow taller. When I was a teenager, I did one thing specifically that no one else really does, and a lot of people thought that I was actually a freak for it. So I am very, very highly allergic to chemicals. So cleaning products, hand sanitizers, if I use these things, literally my hands start flaring up. They get irritated. They get red. I cannot touch any chemicals. So ever since I was like 14, 15, literally my parents helped me buy everything all natural, organic. So any cleaning products, it was natural. Any soaps, it was natural. And I'm going to explain why this actually helps you grow taller. Let's talk about hand sanitizer specifically, which so many of you guys use on a daily basis. A chemical known as triclosan, and this actually completely disrupts the thyroid function. The thyroid directly works with your hormones as a man, so HGH and testosterone. If you're literally using hand sanitizer on a daily basis, you are disrupting your hormonal system, which is going to definitely prevent you from growing taller. This chemical is also found in traditional toothpaste, soap, like a regular soap, like at your school, anything like this. If you're using the soap, it is literally disrupting your hormonal system. And also basic cosmetics. That's why I always say don't use cosmetics with all the chemical crap. That's also why I launched my own cosmetic line on kalosique.com. There's also another extremely disruptive chemical known as phthalates. Now, this is actually very, very common in literally like all cleaning products, soaps, like any chemical that you can possibly think of, this is what's going to be in it.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Not to mention certain things like air fresheners, things like this. So if you really want to optimize your hormones, your overall health, and grow as tall as possible, you literally have to avoid every single chemical, man. These things are not good for your health. So anything that is full of chemicals, you got to get it out of your system, man. Strength training does not stunt your growth, but there are 2 exercises that do actually stunt the growth, and it's going to be the barbell back squat and deadlifts. Now, even for my personal clients who are not trying to optimize your growth, I never advocate these 2 exercises because I think they're stupid, man. There is literally no point to be doing the barbell squat and doing heavy deadlifts unless you're a professional power lifter or anything like this. It makes no sense. You can work out the legs much more optimally with the dumbbell split squat. You can hit the back and the legs much more optimally by doing weighted chin-ups and then some RDLs. These 2 exercises exercises are going to be the worst exercises, and yes, they probably will stunt your growth once you finally injure yourself from all that spinal compression. You guys already know it, we all know it, but 92% of Americans are deficient in basic vitamins and nutrients. This is across all social classes, so no matter how wealthy someone is, no matter how much money they have, how healthy their diet is, there's a good chance you are actually deficient in basic vitamins and minerals. What happens whenever you're deficient in these things, IGF-1 production completely stops, and it's going to close those growth plates, so you are no longer growing taller. So if you want to optimize your height growth, you want to grow as tall as possible, you have to make sure you're getting every single vitamin and nutrient possible. And even if you're eating as healthy as possible, you will probably still be deficient. That's why I recommend everybody, you have to get Titan Growth 2.0. I worked with my scientists in Colorado. They developed the best multivitamin on the market with 500 to 1000% of all the daily nutrients, so that you will not be deficient in anything, man. Literally has anything you could possibly think of. Has an herbal blend, has an immune boosting blend, has anything to really make sure your health is completely optimized. High protein diets are actually directly correlated with higher amounts of IGF-1 human growth hormone. So one reason a lot of guys are not growing taller is simply because they do not eat enough protein. They eat these high soy diets, they're eating all these veggies, fruits, breads, all these things that really don't do anything for the body, but protein is the building block to everything. So if you don't want to start your growth, you got to bump up the protein as much as you can have while having a healthy amount of fats, and then any carbohydrates that you're having, man, just make sure they're not trash carbohydrates. Like if you're eating bread, this literally converts to sugar in the body. It's going to spike your insulin, and it does nothing productive for the body. So make sure you're eating a high protein diet if you want to grow taller. This new generation has more estrogen than ever before. Testosterone levels are down about 50% as what they were just 2 decades ago. And it's because all this modern stuff, man. There is way too much to go over in a single, just little bullet point in a video. But the modern world is set up to make you have high estrogen and low testosterone. So you have to be optimizing your overall testosterone to estrogen levels. Some of the most basic things that boost estrogen is obviously all those chemicals that we're exposed to, microplastics, not getting any sunlight, not getting enough vitamin D. High doses of vitamin D with K2 is one of the best things you can do for your testosterone. Heavy strength training is also a huge one. Basically, whatever the modern day government is advocating, so whether it's the food pyramid, whether people are saying exercise is bad for you, you should start jogging, you should go vegan, all this stuff is complete and utter bullshit that will boost your estrogen and stunt your growth. I'm just saying this one real quick just to remind you guys, but you got to be sleeping at least like 9-10 hours every single night if you want to optimize your height growth. Like, especially if you're in puberty right now, you need minimum 9 hours every single night. This is what I got as a teenager. This is extremely important to grow taller. High levels of cortisol will directly just kind of shut down the IGF-1 production once again. So basically this just means that this is the stress hormone. If you have a lot of stress in your life, then this is really going to make sure that you are not growing any taller. A couple things that you can do: daily meditation sessions. I would advocate about 10 minutes every single day. This will help reduce cortisol. More amounts of sleep. This also helps handle cortisol. GABA actually directly works with the stress receptors within the brain, and it lowers cortisol, and it also boosts HGH by up to 400%. GABA is one of the best supplements that you can actually take, and then ashwagandha directly works with the GABA within the brain as well. So this is also going to help you feel much more calm. If you want all my high growth protocols completely laid out for you in a step-by-step 2-hour masterclass, you got to join Kalos Academy, kalos.academy, with my full high growth masterclass. It's all complete, it's all uploaded for you to just get all of the content so you know exactly what to do to grow taller. You will have a daily routine. You're going to have the exact exercise protocol. You're going to have everything that I did as a teenager to where I grew to become 6'6" with pretty average height growth genetics. So if you want to grow as tall as possible, you got to join Kalos Academy, kalos.academy. If you are new, please subscribe, man. And I love each and every one of you guys with all my heart. Peace.